program over. I am not going to pretend that we actually discussed this, because we didn't. But the benefit of hindsight and being asked to speak about something like this has made me think about it. I realized that the goals I have up there are not really measurable or anything like that. They're really more of a vision for what our team would be like. So our values, we really want everyone to want to do their best, work hard, show up, no excuses. Everyone matters. And that was important to us. Attitude needed to completely change from what it was. Never give up, expect it to be hard. Bad races are learning opportunities. I have to remind myself of that sometimes. And trust your training, your coaches, and your teammates. And when that happens, you get some pretty good chemistry going. So what did we change? What helped us move towards becoming a championship culture instead of a congenial culture? First, for any coaches out there who are still thinking that having the right workouts is what counts, I cannot emphasize enough that you have to change the culture first. To be honest, we were kind of lucky. The culture had already started changing when we really stepped up, and that was thanks to the kids. They were excited, and they had started turning things around. We just kind of came alongside and put some things in place and supported the evolution of the change and helped it along. I would suggest that without a decent culture, even if your training is spectacular, you're not going to be the best you can be. Having a decent culture allows you to start doing the kinds of training that you need to do that's going to help your kids improve. So here's some practical things we did to get things moving in the right direction. First thing was to establish mandatory practice attendance. I would think that would be a no-brainer, but it was not. At our school, we allow our kids now to have 2 unexcused absences, and after that, then we have a meeting, and then after that, they just might be off the team. It's actually never happened, okay? This was really quite a change for some kids, and we lost a few kids. We lost them to jobs, we lost them to extracurricular activities, we lost the ones that really did not want to make that kind of commitment. Since official practice started in early August, we expected kids to be there. This had never happened with this team. Families were still taking lots of vacations, and the practice attendance was really poor in August. And no one kept track of attendance on our team at all. In prior years, a lot of kids didn't show up till school started. Our thinking was that football would never allow their players to miss the first 3 weeks of the season, and why should we? And that wasn't really a popular view with some of our parents and some of our kids at first. All right. Second thing is to value every kid on the team. All right, and I really mean this. I know a lot of programs, the team, you might have one coach that works with the top kids, and then somebody has all the other kids, and we don't really actually do that. I feel it's important that all my kids have interaction with us as the head coaches. So some little things that we do is make sure we have a big team. We have almost 130 kids this year. Probably shouldn't have to say this, but you should know their names. I know coaches who don't know the names of some of their kids, which I just kind of think that's terrible. Everyone can contribute. They may not all be your best runners, but some of them are scholars. Some of them are encouragers. I had one kid who would play the violin at every meet, and we became famous for this kid that played the violin at every meet. And our team loved it. It was just kind of quirky and weird, but it was cool. We had other kids that are just great at nurturing the younger athletes, and I like to point those things out to everyone and make sure they know that they all have a role. I try to say something to every kid every day, even if it's just, "Hi, how you doing?" But just to make eye contact and talk to every kid, I think is really important. We expect the same commitment from all of our kids. We don't have like standards for varsity and standards for if you just want to be a participant. Everybody has to be there. If a kid misses practice, they are going to get an email from Coach Mark that night wanting to know where they are. And it does not matter which kid they are. Everyone has a workout group and times to hit in our training. We break, that takes a lot of time for planning. I'm sure you guys know that, but we make sure that every kid knows that they matter just as much, enough for me to say, you need to run your 800s in 350 today, okay? And we do it. We try to recognize the accomplishments of our non-varsity kids. Like after a meet, we might have a meeting the next day, and instead of pointing out how great Peter Morris ran, we might talk about how our little 36-minute time trial 5K girl ran 30 minutes that day, and how she outkicked somebody in the last 100 meters. We try to notice those things in meets and point them out to the kids. Really, from us, our varsity kids don't get a whole lot of recognition. We just figure they get enough from everybody else, and we can say good job, and that's enough because they're getting it everywhere else, but the other ones aren't. This year we had the luxury of recognizing team accomplishments for all of our other kids, not just the varsity kids. Our goal this year, we had gotten to the point where we could go to an invitational with like 8 race divisions. You know what I'm talking about. Varsity A, Varsity B, upper class JV, lower class JV, freshman, sophomore, whatever. And our goal was to win every single one of the divisions at these invitationals, or at least do as well as we could. And we were doing that this season. And I know that is a luxury that maybe not every team has, but boy, when you can get to the point where everybody feels important because they're contributing to that, it just makes a huge difference for the enthusiasm and excitement of every kid on the team.